Featherweight shop. This is part 7 in our Getting to Know Your Featherweight series, as we work through the instruction booklet that comes with your featherweight. Today we cover reverse and back stitching, plus we'll touch on how to regulate the pressure on the presser foot for different material. You'll notice that the language in the manual has changed a bit in 80 years or so since it was written. Instead of reverse or back stitch, it says regulate the direction of the feed, referring to the feed dogs moving the fabric. We love everything that's original about our featherweights. That's why our Featherweight shop replica manuals are the exact replica of the manuals that were made nearly a century ago, including the vintage language. Your Singer Featherweight is specifically designed to only make straight stitches. It is in fact the premier sewing machine to make perfect uniform straight stitches, forward and reverse. The length of your stitch, as well as the forward and reverse direction, is controlled by this lever, the stitch regulator. The numbers on the stitch indicator plate shows how many stitches per inch the needle makes, from 6 to 30 stitches per inch. Screw the thumb nut away from the plate. Move the stitch regulator lever in line with the number of stitches you want, then screw the thumb nut back in. When you want to reverse, simply move the lever all the way to the top, and the featherweight automatically reverses the sewing direction. Move the lever back to the lowest position, and it sews forward again. The thumb nut ensures you sew the same number of desired stitches forward and reverse. When reversing a stitch, you have two choices. You can either stop sewing, move the stitch regulator lever to reverse, then start sewing again. Or you can move the lever as you are sewing without ever stopping. This is very common when making a back stitch. Back stitching is when you sew, then double back on your last 4 to 5 stitches to keep your seam from coming unraveled. Back stitching is usually done at the beginning and end of a seam. You sew, reverse direction to double back over the previous 4 or 5 stitches, then forward again, and you've made a secure back stitch. For most quilt piecing, back stitching is not really necessary. Occasionally, though, it will be needed for piecing, but not very often. The manual introduces regulating pressure here, so I want to touch on it a bit. For an in-depth tutorial, you can watch one of my daddy's presser foot tutorials on the Featherweight Schoolhouse. For ordinary family sewing, it is seldom necessary to adjust the pressure on the presser foot, but here's a good rule of thumb. For heavy material, increase the pressure by turning the knob clockwise. For very light material, decrease the pressure by turning the knob counterclockwise. Be sure to give us a call at the Featherweight shop if you have any questions. Have a great day!